your beloved, your treasure, your desired partner might have made a decision perhaps for, yes, his single life, or even for another person. And you ask yourself the question, is it really what he wanted? Is it exactly what he wanted? Does he feel settled now in his current situation? You might feel something rumbling there, something wasn't quite right. And he might have made one or another statement, perhaps even the statement, yes, no, this is what I want, and the other woman, she is the right one for me, and something along those lines. Or he says, no, being alone, that's better for me and my single life, and so on. And there, as I said, you ask yourself the question, is this exactly what he really wanted? And now let's take a look at that. We capture the energy of the present, the most present energy that wants to reveal itself for our question. And no matter when you watch the video, then this message wants to, then there is something in it that is meant for you at this moment, a hint that is important for you. Dear ones, a very, very wonderful hello, a grand and big hug to you all. Thank you for your being, thank you for your wonderful warmth. Also, once again, your comments. I found it so lovely. There were comments included that I read from time to time, and I would like to address them again now. Wow. Your readings have saved me 1,000 times or provided me with guidance. Or I needed that hint. I felt so supported. Things like that. And it comes, I keep reading such comments here and it touches my heart so much. And for that, I truly thank you. I appreciate it infinitely. I appreciate you infinitely. Thank you also for all being here. And now let's take a look. You know, we are in the collective. Person cards are gender neutral. This is your counterpart, both male and female. And collective readings cannot apply to everyone. And also not that the reading here has to be accurate one-to-one. Please always adapt it for yourself and your situation. And you always do that fantastically. I read that repeatedly in the comments. So, and now I would say, let's get started. I am focusing on the question, of Wands. Knight of Wands. Yes. Your loved one might have been or is currently in a defensive stance towards you. This kind of unreachable, closed-off demeanor, maybe you've always sensed it too. Somehow this closed-off nature as well. But it also has to do with caution and always this unapproachability. Maybe to some extent, yes, you got close to him or her. They opened up and then shut down very quickly. And there is also something, this defensive attitude that is now being shown, this closed-off nature, cautiousness. But it also has something within him which is also being shown, this defensive attitude, because he is internally struggling with something. Something is bothering him, and we can see exactly what it is. You know that we delve completely into the depths to find out what's going on. So what else do we have? Now we have the Wands again. Great. So I've already looked at the next card. So we have the Queen of Wands with the Queen of Wands. Wood, Wands, Wands. It is also shown, yes, that in his current situation, the decision he made was also very strong-willed. But basically, he has distanced himself because of his insecurity. He has created a sort of isolation for himself, which he has now entered, where he also feels it, but is uncertain. So it really starts off quite well, because we have an insecurity that is being shown. And perhaps he is still holding on a bit to his own pride. But here it's also about, because here it's about his inner self, where he always isolates himself a bit. It's about devotion and compassion. Because here feelings are being shown. And this is how he sees you. namely as a caring woman or man. You can adapt this, please, to your situation. And yes, this is also about a competitor, yes. It's just that he apparently still sees you a bit as a, in quotes, competitor. But competition in the area of being caring, devoted, and compassionate. And this is a very big topic here. Then we have the Ten of Cups. That was the part where I had to smile earlier. Yes, inside him, a lot is going on. So we have this compassion, this caring nature. Yes, the devotion, how he sees you, where he always tries to detach himself. And that is indeed a very big issue. Because essentially what he is also shielding himself from, where he always goes into this defensive stance, is here. A truly genuine, solid life partnership that really goes deep. Because essentially he feels we have harmony here again. By the way, he also senses that there is something there. He is currently in his own chaos and in this loneliness. He finds himself in a solitude for himself. And he is already in this area as well, that with you, this is what he cannot categorize, like he has found a home. He isolates himself. And this has to do with the inner home. And this sense of belonging, because he feels more, because fundamentally it's also about the future here. Maybe he is also afraid of this togetherness, but something is lurking inside him, which also concerns the foundation with you for a shared future. This sense of belonging, and something is struggling within him or her, where he perhaps cannot fully, yes, assess in which direction, but he is also somewhat running away from it. Why? Because here, a big issue, it is really a very, very big issue, is the sense of belonging. And that is in your area, but also in your direction. Because as I said, he is currently in this whole combination, when I look at him, in the inner chaos, in this sadness, lonely. He feels lonely. So we are, the question, was it right decision for him? Does he feel comfortable? Or was it exactly what he or she really wanted? So on one hand, we already have, wow, I am speechless again. What is being shown here? So was it exactly what he wanted? The decision he made? Is it exactly what he really wanted? And this is clearly about you. We are quite sure of that. Here, it is. Oh, okay. When I look at the whole picture here, it speaks clearly. Your loved one is actually doubting the decision he or she has made. We have him lying that he has definitely run away. So a very central point on no for your loved one is really the running away. That's what he did. And that's a clear statement I have here from him or from her. I have him lying. So here, as we saw at the beginning, it is clearly shown again in your direction, the warmth, this empathy, this sensitivity, solution-oriented, this familial, this dedication. It is completely shown And he actually pushed you away because he or she is fundamentally completely insecure. He took the wrong path here. And then partially really ran away like a little child. I'm not looking there now. And for some, it's really either another person that you now say, okay, but he is now in a relationship with someone else, or has now decided to embrace being single and goes out, does this and that, flirts here and there, and so on, and has simply decided against you. And as I said, the question was, is this really what he wanted? I say no, definitely not. I have it completely on the surface here because you completely touch the heart of your beloved person. This depth, especially the connection that I see here now regarding the solid stability and the person, what they have now decided on, either for a person relationship or circle of friends, simply being single activities. This freedom, this is freedom, and the other person, it's simply just running away. He doesn't feel comfortable at all because this is just floating on the surface here. This person, his situation in which he is, hasn't touched his heart at all. Not at all. Because I also see here the complete loss of his own happiness, of happy feelings. I see the happy feelings here completely in decline. Completely in, yes. His whole situation is actually a stress factor. And he's deceiving himself. He's also pretending to others. He's also deceiving here, whether you notice it from others or from him or from her directly. Yes, I'm happy and this is exactly what I wanted and so on. No, that can be a complete lie here. He's pretending something here. He's massively deceiving himself. And this person, if you say now, is in a relationship here with her, with someone else, I tell you, this is already doomed to fail, definitely. Because I can already see the failure here completely. Because it's only superficial. And that's why running away is this distraction. I have this here only as a distraction. It was a really stupid move that he or she is making here now and has delivered. But it is this decision. And even if I say now in this area regarding sexuality, if you say, well, probably he just wants sex, even that is not his true fulfillment, not at all. Because even sexuality, I have here completely in retreat, in decline. Because I also have the breakups here, because it's such a change. Again, he's just running away. He needs this flattery, this, yes, you're great, you're super, you're fantastic, so that he stands out really well. These flatteries, and it's like an elixir that he gets here, that he needs. But even that, maybe always worked well for him. But then you tense up. And now what always did him good is no longer the fulfillment that he actually knows from his old behavior patterns, from the past. Because I have it completely, it's actually completely ailing in him. He's not doing well either. I also want to add that I also have him lying here a bit battered. And all that, it's not quite working anymore. And even if you might think or hear from others, again and again, I saw him there. You might think, okay, he's constantly outside all the time, always somehow with her and hanging out with her nonstop, for example, drinking rum or with his friends. Then it's just a snapshot, this moment that you witness. But basically, the big picture, when I see here, I have him more withdrawn, lying here, closed off. I've closed him off anyway. So if he was already closed off with you, he is even more closed off here, especially towards this person here. So there is. I only see him running away from the deep feelings towards you. Maybe he never really told you or only hinted at it. And if he told you he doesn't love you, I see that as a complete lie. That's not true. That's that running away again. No. That's not what he really wanted. Because inside him, there's a huge turmoil. He feels the closeness to you, the devotion, and that's also what he feels inside, but he can't quite identify it. Because this depth that I see here, he says, such a thing doesn't even exist. Well, if you separate here and then it fits, and then someone else comes along, and then on another situation, then that's completely fine. And that's why he says, such a thing doesn't exist, that the heart keeps saying, hey, look, here I am again. And then he distracts himself again, because you keep coming back into his heart. You keep appearing, and the heart keeps knocking. And believe me, his heart has a lot of strength here. He was at the gym for quite a long time, I believe, doing strength training, so that it says here, hey, look, you can't escape me anymore because I keep repeating it. And then still, I love this woman. I love this man. And that's where he says such a thing doesn't exist. That he feels or felt this strong sense of belonging with you, and he ran away from that. So as I said, if you're now asking yourself, is this really what he wanted? Maybe he always wanted it. In regularity, always, always. He also told you that, but I completely, as I said, put that in the lie, deceiving himself, making himself believe something, but no longer running away from it all. Because that doesn't make him happy at all either. As I said, I have the happiness here coming in the lost lies. His situation, what he always brought upon himself before, what always felt good. Well, maybe it was okay there. I just have it here now. An F plus something in that direction, even that I have completely here. Lying in the heaviness, in the disharmony, nothing is really there anymore as it once was. Sure, trying to desperately bring back what was here, but it doesn't work because, as I said, the heart keeps knocking here and says, so here I am again. And really in repetition, in regularity, because he feels, and that's what he's trying to push away, that you are an integral part of his life. But is it currently being replaced again? The whole thing that he holds on to it. Such a thing doesn't exist. Because I have him completely, he's still struggling back and forth here, so we are completely here. He or she, it comes in a process, detachment process, detaching from the past old behavior patterns. And it's like this, we have a new beginning, a transformation out of the lie, out of the fear. What concerns a permanent life partnership, because you are something completely special for him, completely special. And as I said, we have this question here, whether he or she is sure that it was the right decision, whether it is really what he wanted. For the beginning, yes, but basically it was just running away from love, especially from deep love. And this person who currently has contact here, there is no love there. There is just a bit of a stress factor, and there is this, each is actually pretending a bit to the other. What does the bit mean? Quite a bit, as I have it here. I have the pretending, and he also knows that it was the wrong decision, because there is no real harmony here. To some extent, yes, I'm not saying here, 347. That's here, but simply he is fooling himself. And yes, you can perhaps do activities, others can do it because there are no feelings here. And that's why it's so easy for him there. With you, it wasn't easy for him because there is a complete heart connection towards you. And above all, the path, that's his pride. This, no, I don't want that. I'll stay single for now, or I have had different relationships here repeatedly. And this, I don't want anything serious, is a lie. This, I don't want anything serious. That's what's coming, what's changing, because with you, he definitely felt that it really is something serious. And that's also where he feels comfortable. And that's what he's afraid of. So he doesn't feel comfortable, definitely not. And it was not the right decision. It was not what he really wanted. At the beginning, as I said, yes, but now absolutely not anymore, because I have complete chaos with him here, actually lying. So now let's take a further look. Then we have the High Priestess. So, and with the High Priestess, we have this empathetic aspect again, which is shown. The unconscious is repeatedly here. Yes, feelings that emerge. This unconsciousness that he perceives, he is concerned about it. The thoughts are also repeatedly blocked. I repeatedly have. So the thought interruptions are also present, yes, with him. But this is what he cannot really assign. It shows up here again. And with him, however, we have this caring nature again. It remains a mystery because he's currently sorting things out for himself. But he is increasingly getting into this empathetic state. You're feeling into it, and especially into the situation, feeling into it with you, because it doesn't let him go either. The situation, the idea of having a relationship with you, and that's what keeps catching up with him. And you might also see it as a bit mysterious, the whole thing. Something is lurking, something doesn't quite fit. But as I said, we have a lot of feeling here and a lot of empathy, this deep understanding as well. That he is now starting to understand you better, your feelings, what you have given him, how you have been towards him. And I find that beautiful here. So now we have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. Your loved one is really going here. Maybe a bit colder. What he has shown you, yes, but that always completely goes away here. Because we have the intuition here that he is following his intuition more, especially perceiving it as well, because there is really love involved here, which is showing itself again. And especially he, which I find fantastic here, his situation, he is going completely into healing with himself. And he also perceives these signs to go into healing, to shed his old behavior patterns, to now allow what is new for him concerning his relationship, concerning love. He is saying goodbye to his old behavior patterns. Dear ones, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching. And I wish you a wonderful, beautiful rest of the day and all the best for you. Goodbye.